What up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Ask Paul. My name is Paul Abernathy, your host. As always, I want to thank you for taking the time out of your day to listen to our podcast. Hopefully, you listen to our other podcasts that we have available. You can listen to all of our podcasts on our YouTube channel, or you can go to masterthenec.com, and up at the top, you'll see a podcast button. You click on that, and every podcast we do will upload there. You also can go over and listen to our Electrician Live podcasts and previous shows that we've done on Thursday night by checking us out over on electricianlive.com. Now, if you want to listen to all of the Ask Paul podcasts by themselves, well, that's pretty simple too. The same place that you go to ask me technical questions, which is paulabernathy.com. Right over there, you've got a button that says podcast. You can listen to the podcasts over there as well. Again, we have 3 different podcasts in syndication through Deezer, Spotify, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcast, whatever. All of our shows, you can search for Master the NEC on any of those platforms. You can search for Ask Paul on any of those platforms. You can even search for Electrician Live on any of those platforms. We have so much content on all different topics that there is always something in the electrical genre for you to listen to. So check it out. We appreciate you doing that. All right, today's episode of Ask Paul is a common question that I get asked an awful lot, and it's about our CMECP program. Now, you'll have a bunch of wannabes that'll run around on different forums, and I won't mention any names, but they'll say, well, I don't want to give them this money. I don't want to give Paul Abernathy this money for being a CMECP. What's the certification mean? It doesn't mean anything. Well, first of all, this shows individuals' ignorance. They just don't understand. They just like to opine and run their mouth. Let me give you a great example. There is a lot of people that go on message boards and they quote things. They say that this is against code, that's against code, but they never cite it with any code reference. They never can give anything to back up their claim. They just simply want to opine and then run off and hide in the shadows. Well, we don't do that here. I'm going to explain to you what the CMECP program is, how it will benefit you. If you're an electrician, if you're a master electrician and you're trying to get an edge up on your competition, then the CMECP program is designed not only for that, but it is going to increase your knowledge of the code. And ultimately, the more you know about the code, not just padding your resume, not just padding your credentials, but more you know about the National Electrical Code makes you a much better owner, much better leader, a person that's in a prestigious position to make decisions based on real code data than just making a whimsical remark that gets you some kind of likes or clicks on one of your message board posts or social media. The CMECP, first and foremost, is a registered trademark, and I have them sitting on my wall for a CMECP as well as the phrase Certified Master Electrical Code Professional. So first of all, we went through the process of getting these phrases trademarked first and foremost, okay, to protect them. And we will aggressively protect our mark, okay? There's one individual I know out there that was using the CMECP. He got a cease and desist letter, and he has stopped using it. If he hadn't, trust me, we have enough resources here at Electrical Code Academy. In fact, our academy is doing so well, we're looking for ways to have, write-offs, if you will. So more than happy to sue you if you're using our name improperly. Okay, so that's not an issue. I love lawsuits. I'm eager to go after anybody I want. So let me tell you. So first and foremost, I don't want to because you should be earning the credential. So let's talk a little bit about us first. So Electrical Code Academy is a corporation in the state of Texas. We pay corporate taxes. We everything's filed. We have a federal EIN. We have a corporate structure. We keep records. We have a actual board of directors. And I am the face of all that. So you basically deal with me. All the background stuff is done and handled through here. I had people that work for me, Brittany, Zachary, Darlene, Jeff, all these people that help make this thing run. Now, when it comes to code, I am the code guy. I am the one that you're going to interact with when it comes to code. 7 days a week, I'm the guy you're going to deal with. In the background, Darlene or Brittany or whatever are working on things to keep everything rolling. All right. So first and foremost, Electrical Code Academy is a corporation. Now, when you read stuff on forums who say, well, I wouldn't do this, I wouldn't do that, you're just giving somebody money. we're going to look at the cost structure, and you would be a fool not to add it. Now, you get things printed on your vehicles. You get your business cards made. You promote yourself. You wear T-shirts with your name and logos on them. You wear hats. You are setting your image. So again, those that say that are either ignorant or they don't understand the process. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to make it clear for you so you know what this is and why we embarked on this quite a few years ago now. And that was to create something that not everybody could get into. Not everybody can join the club, if you will. It is very unique, and it is designed for a straightforward purpose. So let's go over it. So first thing, if you've never been there, you want to go to mycmecp.com. That is just our information page. It talks about the CMECP program. And currently, for the last 2 years, we have waived, or at least 2 or 3 years, we have waived all renewal fees for any CMECP member. So for those that are lucky enough to get through the program and become a CMECP, they have been on automatic renewal. We haven't billed anybody. We haven't, that is something that I wanted to do as a thank you for those that came through the program. So we have CMECPs that are successful through the program, but they don't have to do their renewal. Their CMECP status is rolling over. So that's you're welcome thing for becoming a CMECP. Now, I can't say that's going to always be that way, but that's the way it is right now. All right, so you can go to mycmecp.com, and obviously there you can read about it. We have click on the link that talks about CMECP. You've got to hover over the links, by the way. If you hover over them, you'll see that there's a forum. There's a list of certified CMECPs who have chosen to have their name public. Some do not. That's their decision. But in the CMECP program, and we'll talk more about it, but I want to give you the perks. We do have what's called a CMECP apprentice program. That is for people that can study the National Electrical Code through our program while they're still a journeyman. But they have to achieve their master level by the end of a year. Now, that's easily done if they use our program, because our program for the CMECP is based around our Fast Tracks program. If you've never heard of our Fast Tracks program, it's for exam preparation and NEC learning. It is by far the best exam preparation and NEC learning program out there. It teaches you what you need to know, and we test you on that. So it's based on the Fast Tracks program. However, it's modified for the CMECP. For the CMECP candidate, you have limitations. The number of times you can take an exam, a minimum threshold of 80% passing. If you fail it 3 times in your process, you're out of the program. There's no second chances for that. You're done. So it makes you have to really read the course content and really work through it. I don't know of any other certification program that does that. Many of them would you simply go sit for a test. Well, we have a proctored exam, but that's only one stage in a multi-stage process. So this is why the people that knock the CMECP, there is a high propensity that they couldn't even pass it, that they couldn't even make it through it. So when you hear somebody say some kind of snippet comment about it, oh, we're just giving somebody money, it is a smaller price, but it is a drop in the bucket. But the reason they're saying that is because there's a great chance that they probably couldn't even make it through it anyway. And that's why they would say it. So it's easy for people to say those kind of things because they can't achieve it. Now, we have students right now that are working their butt off through this program to complete the course material in 6 months, because you have to complete the course material in 6 months' time. It's a lot of material, 19 units, over 20 exams that you have to get 80% or higher. It's a lot, and it puts a lot on the student. Now, in our program, if you're on the website, go to mycmecp.com, and you hover your mouse over the CMECP button, you'll see there's an apprentice program. That's if you're a journeyman studying to become a master, and you plan on doing that within a year. That's the best value because you get a head start into the program. And then once you complete it, you're using this to help you get your license because it's going to help you pass your exam. But you also get all of that work out of the way. So then you immediately, once you get your master's, you jump to the next stage, which is the proctor. And then the last is 5-on-1 interview. So that is a unique way to do it. If you want to get into it in the apprentices side of it, That's our apprentice CMECP program. Many people don't know about that program, but you just hover over the CMECP button on the website and you will see CMECP Apprentice. The next, you have an educational portal. Literally thousands of courses are available to you in the educational portal. You just have to sign up to get an account. And once you're a CMECP, then you can sign up for your account on our website, the mycmecp.com website, and then you'll get into access to the portal where you'll get access to a partner that we have that literally has thousands of educational courses, because the thing that makes a CMECP different is that they continue to want to learn, whether it's bookkeeping, whether it's management, whether all these different aspects of leadership. All of those things are available in additional courses. And so we make it very easy. We compile these together. And in many of these courses, you can get certificates, diplomas, certifications. So all of that is available to our CMECPs. Next, you have what's called the CMEC perk. What is a CMEC perk? Well, that is where you can literally get discounts on everything that you already buy. Basically, you can pay to become a CMECP, pass everything, and use the perks, and basically it costs you nothing to be a CMECP. It is an amazing program, and it's exclusive to our CMECP members. So those that want to use it, it's right there, and you can always get into the portal and set up your account, and you can get access to all these things. And I can tell you right now, you already will pay for it if you go to the movies, because the movie tickets are discounted to all of these major movie theaters. It's really an awesome program. Not to mention laptops. About 2 years ago, we got a laptop for Brittany here. Through that program, the discounts were so great. It was like, you couldn't even beat it. The stores couldn't even beat its price. So it was factory direct for Lenovo laptop. So it's just amazing deals in there. Again, trying to provide value. The next thing that people will ask me is, okay, I understand, before we get into the details of it, they'll say, how do I become a CMECP? All right, well, there is a prerequisite. The prerequisite to being a CMECP is, one, you have to be a master electrician in your state. Now, people will say, well, what if I live in a state that doesn't have a master license? Okay, then we use what's called the Master License Equivalency Program. And again, you can highlight over the CMECP button on our website, and you'll see that there is a Master Electrician Equivalency Program. What does that mean? Well, that means that if you meet any of these criteria, then you can get into the program, and you're not necessarily a master electrician. Okay? Now, a journeyman electrician will not qualify until they become a master electrician, unless the state to which they are residing does not have a master electrician program. If that's the case, then if that program doesn't exist, then you would have something that would be equivalent to that. All right. Now, one other thing that they can have, if it doesn't exist, they can have 8 years of practical experience in the trade and 240 hours of formal vocational training in a trade. Experience in excess of 8 years may be substituted for formal vocational training at a ratio of 1 year experience to 80 hours of formal training, not to exceed 200 hours. So we want to make sure that you have at least 40 hours of training if you use this program, this substitute. Also, if you have an associate's or bachelor's degree, you can get in it through that, or you have a 2-year program, tradesman-related program, accredited or unaccredited. It's fine as long as you have a documentation to that, transcripts or whatever that shows your experience. So that's one way to get in. If you're a professional engineer, you won't necessarily qualify unless the major portion of your involvement in the electrical industry is based on engineering design and electrical systems. So now we're not let a mechanical engineer qualify. You have to show evidence that you've been working with the National Electrical Code. So again, electrical professional engineers just can't walk in here like they can in many other certification programs. You're going to have to show us that you have some background in understanding and working with the National Electrical Code. Okay, so check that out. There is a requirement for that. And the third one is states where journeyman and master license do not exist. For example, I talked about earlier, Ohio is a great example of this. They do not have a master electrician program, but they have electrical contractors, and that is the highest level you can get. So that is an equivalency, for example, to a master electrician. So if you're in Ohio, that is what you would have, and it's got to be the highest job class cost level or class for that given state. If that's the case and you have a contractor's license there, then you qualify to be in our CMECP program. And then lastly, successfully passed the 2-year codologist program at electricalinstructor.com. That is one way to do it. Actually, that's going to end up sending you back to our Master the NEC, and that would be if you're in our 2-year program. It's called the Bundle Pack. If you're in it and you successfully complete the 4 key areas, then you're able to bypass. So successfully completing the residential, the commercial, and grounding and bonding, and the Fast Tracks program, successfully completing all of those with grades 80% or higher, then that will move you straight to the last step in the program. All right. So there's different ways to get there. So people say all the time, why would you create a program that is so hard? Well, we don't want just anybody in here. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. This was not created to make money. So for all those people out there on these message boards and all this kind of crap that say, oh, it's Paul just trying to do a money grab or whatever, think about this for a second, folks. If only about 2% a year, in some cases less, actually make it through the program, then, how can this be a money grab? How can we be creating something? Because, you have to pass, and you're the one that makes the decision to get into the program. And it is not something where we were just saying, well, okay, if you pay, we'll just give you this certification. That is not the case. So for out there that don't understand the program, who don't understand the trademarks, that don't understand the process or what we're trying to do, it's their ignorance. And of course, the first thing that people like to do at that point is go on social media and start blabbing about something or hating on something that they have no clue, 0 clue. So here's my thing to you. Always consider the source. And when they say something about it, ask them, so do you think you could actually pass that program? And if they say yes, then tell them to put their money where their mouth is, okay? Because, again, they're talking BS, and they have no clue at all how the program works. And that's sad, because they just don't understand it. Now, let's talk a little bit more about the program. So the program was actually created by me back in 2014, 2015, somewhere around that period, and conceived the program of a voluntary participation program designed to add a credential through our corporation. So our corporation is Electrical Code Academy Incorporated, and through our training programs, we're issuing a certification to the understanding of your participation and completion of a National Electrical Code based course. And it increases your knowledge of the National Electrical Code, not only mentally, but actually physically out on the job site. But here's the thing. Creating a program that sets somebody above everybody else is a marketing goldmine, because you're able to say, I actually went through testing. We actually track your hours. We show the amount of time you're in the program, and we track every aspect of your activity in the program. It is all documented. It's all recorded. It's all kept in a file, and it lives on. So if somebody wants to verify your participation, your involvement, your scores, your grades, your interaction with the company, everything is tracked. People say, well, why haven't we taken the next step to go on and become a university? Because that's not what we're here. We're not here to give you pre-licensing credits. We're not here to train people from nothing. To get into the CMECP program, you have already had to meet one huge hurdle in your life, and that is becoming a master electrician or equivalent. That tells me you've already put the time in. You put the hours in. You qualified by the state to take your license test. That is a prerequisite. That's why we set the bar so high. Now, the beautiful thing about the journeyman, the apprentice program in our CMECP that many people don't talk about, is that's the best of both worlds. We're going to actually help you pass your master's exam. So it's already a great value, but along the way, we're going to make sure you understand the material. And obviously, when you're in that program as well, you're going to have access to join us on our Wednesday night, which is our exam prep night. If you choose, you can be able to join us there as well, which can only benefit you. If you're a CMECP candidate, you're constantly wanting to learn. You're constantly wanting to get better in the program. Okay, so if you go to our website, for example, mycmecp, that's mycmecp.com, you'll see a button there called CMECP. Click on the button. Now, not the ones that you highlight over, but just click on the button. That takes you to a explanation of the course, the duration, the time it takes you 6 months to achieve, the applicant has to finish the online course portion. Now, once you achieve the online course portion, that clock stops. Because at that point, it becomes, we have to coordinate times for you to do the proctored, and we have to coordinate times to get the 5-on-1. Because I can tell you, the 5 individuals that volunteer to help with this, they sit around a lot in their normal lives because the CMECPs don't get activated until there's somebody that's attesting or going to go through the 5-on-1 interview. So they might only do it once or twice a year. Because we have tons of candidates that go through the program, but by far, the majority do not make it past the 6 months. Now, you might say, well, that's because it's too hard. That's unfair. You're setting people up to not be successful. That is not true. We have candidates that have done it. We have candidates that are getting ready now to go to the proctored portion of the phase. It is doable. They've already finished the 6-month period, and they finished with a month left. So it's doable. The one thing about the CMECP that we really focus on is time management. Time management is so important, especially to a person that's becoming a CMECP. You're elevating yourself to this level of code knowledge that you can be somebody that people go to. You understand how to maneuver the code. You don't have to remember everything, but you learn the ways to navigate the NEC. You learn how to look things up, how to interact with it, how to ask the right questions, how to dissect a question. This helps you in real life. But as the go-to person on your job, whether you're the owner, whether you're the manager, whether or not you're the lead person, these are people that have these traits that we look for in a CMECP, this leadership trait. And one really core leadership trait is good time management. Because no good leader can let things sit on a desk until they expire. You have to be ready to pull the trigger. You have to be accurate when you pull that trigger. You have to be knowledgeable about what you're getting ready to do. And that's what a CMECP is all about. That's who we want. We do not just want to flood this with master electricians. It's not interest to us. There's no interest for us to do this. We want the best of the best. And so for people that put it down, I can promise you 100%, they've never gone through the program. Never gone through the program. In fact, I encourage you to ask some of our recent CMECPs what they think about the program. Because let me tell you what, we can provide that for you if you'd like to talk to somebody. Because I'm telling you what, doing this in 6 months, committing the time, committing the resources, knowing that you have to do your time management, knowing that you have to pass these exams. Otherwise, if you fail them, it ends. It's a daunting task, but people are achieving it. And the people that achieve it feel like they've earned it. That's the key. Now, there are some certifications out there and some well-known associations that you simply go in, sit for a test, give it to you, and then every year you pay your money. That's not what we do here. You have to work your way through the process. You have to complete the course. We have to know that you know the information. That's what the competency reviews are about. We need to know how you're doing in the program. That's why we monitor it. So we get intimately involved in it. Now, add up the time that it takes for us to get intimately involved in something and divide that out about the time that we have to be involved with it. And you're going to see that there's no money grab involved here. So if you're interested in this program, first thing you're going to go to is click on the CMECP button. You're going to see the requirements, what you have to do, and you're going to look at the application process. You have an application you have to fill out. Each student will get their own unique ID, okay, in the program. The program application fees is $150. That's the program that allows us to set up the program, do the certifying, do the monitoring, pays for your first 2 years of certification. Although we have waived it since we started, we haven't done renewals on it. But that sets up all the requirements necessary to get everything started, the $150. Once you're in that program, your application fee is $150, non-refundable. Once you're in that program, at that point you will be shared with the links in order to complete the process. Okay? 4-step process. Number one, the first step is the application, $150. Okay? You're saying, okay, what's the $150 for? That's to get us set up. That covers your proctored exam fees when you make it to that stage. It covers everything along the way other than the course itself, because you have to buy the course. That's the next step. But it covers our tracking, emails, sending you everything, actually monitoring. It's the labor involved in the program, point blank. So once that's all set up and you're in the program, the next step would be you'll get a link to your unique course, that is the CMECP course. Now, in that link, you'll follow the instructions, set up the program, and the course is going to be drastically different than our normal program for exam prep and learning, because it's set up with certain limitations. Certain things are not available. The number of times you can take an exam are limited to 3. It's different. It gets monitored in a different way. Okay. Once you get that and you sign up for that, you'll get ready for the course. You have 6 months to complete that course. All of your exams, you have to maintain an 80% average or higher. Okay. So if you get a 75 on the exam, you better take it again. And hopefully the next time you take it, you'll get an 80, because you need to have an 80 to move on. After 3 attempts, you can't move on to the next step if you don't get an 80 or higher on those quizzes. And there's a lot of them, and we test you all the time. The next step after do that, once you pass that, you'll go to the proctored exam, which is a 100-question fill in the blank. You're live on camera. It's recorded, and everything is, you're done live with somebody proctoring it, and that is kept in our archives of the date, the time. Everything has to be visible during the exam. Basically the same thing that took place that people were doing all over the country during COVID. We were already doing this prior to COVID. This is a more modern way to do it. It keeps everything on camera. You don't get shared the questions. They're shared on the screen. All you have is an answer sheet. So you have to answer them, and then you'll fax us or email us the answer sheet, and we will grade it. So you don't even know. It's not multiple choice. It's not A, B, C, or D. That's what makes it tough. All right, and once you finish those 3 steps, the first one, again, application, second one, purchasing the course, third one, you make it to the proctored exam. The 4th step is the one-on-one interview, where the CMECP candidate goes in front of a 5-member review board. And 5-member review board, and each one of the people on the review board has to ask you a question. And you have to answer the question to their satisfaction. Now, to pass this final stage, you only had to appease 3 of the 5 committee members. So if 2 of them say, well, I don't really think he answered the question, but the other 3 say, yeah, I think he answered it fine, hit their question that they ask, then you're going to successfully make it through that. And guess what? At that point, you are going to be awarded your CMECP. You'll get your unique special lapel pin that only CMECPs get. You'll get your certificate. You'll get your letter of welcome, all of that stuff. Then you'll have access to certain areas on our website. You can get all the perks, whatever you want, the education, all that stuff will be opened up to you once you become a CMECP. And anything that we add in the future, any perks that we add to the program, things like that, will be just included for the CMECP once they have it. Now, the $150 is, again, covers also the proctored exam, and it also covers the 5-on-1 time, so you don't have to worry about that. That's all in it. So people say that it's a money grab. Your overall cost. Now, we're going to talk about what this does for your career, but let's look at this now. Your maximum amount of cost that you have out of your pocket is $250 for the course, which is dramatically reduced from what the normal fast track program would be, even though this is more for the CMECP, so it's tailored to that. Same concept, code is code. It's just we're a little more strict on it and your time window is strict. You got $250 for the program and you've got $150 for the registration fee. So you're out $400. Tell me where you can go and get a certification program for that and put you through all this information that you're going to get. There is none. I don't know of anything that would do that. Now, what you do is after every 2 years, you'll have a renewal, and the renewal cost will be simply $150. That's simply our application processing fee. That's it. Every 24 months. Okay. So your cost for your initial certifications, $400. Application fee included, course included, exams included, proctored exam included, 511 included. And then, of course, every 2 years, you have the $150 that you do for renewal if you want to maintain your CMECP status. Now, I can tell you I have waived that since we started that. Now, probably going to restart that back up in 2022. But at this point, it's been waived. Okay. So you're welcome for those that are CMECPs. Okay. So there you go. That is the kind of the process. So how does somebody get started? Or what are the benefits? Let's go here. What are the benefits of being a CMECP? This is another question I get asked. Why should I do it? Okay, let's talk about some of the benefits. First of all, it's the industry's highest voluntary level competency program. No other program voluntarily puts somebody through as many stages that we put them through. Okay. There is no other course out there that's dedicated purely to the National Electrical Code. There are courses that are dedicated to other organizations' agenda, but none specifically to the National Electrical Code. We're the ones that created that. Others can copy, but we created it. The other thing is it shows proof of National Electrical Code competency. Successfully completing all levels validate, and it's recorded, and we keep that information on hand. It validates completion in the program. Okay. It shows your prospective employers that you're always striving to take a leadership role in the electrical industry, that you're going to be able to identify issues before they arise when it comes to the National Electrical Code, or you're going to be that person that your staff comes to be that resource, which makes you invaluable to that company. You can't put a price on it. Although you're going to say my price is elevated salary. Now, people say, well, your certification holds no merit. Well, think about what you're saying. There's a dramatic difference between certifications, licensure, and accreditation. Certification is certifying that you've met a specific criteria. So Electrical Code Academy Incorporated is certifying through a corporation based in Texas that you have completed our course to a high satisfactory level, okay? And you've done so in a specific defined time. So when you want to see, and a certification is only as good as it is backed up by the certificate provider. So Electrical Code Academy Incorporated is a corporation. We're bound by keeping records. We keep records of our students. We keep records of our candidates that become successful CMECP members. All of that is documented. All of that is available to any employer who wants to verify their code knowledge through us. Right? Now you could say to yourself, well, I don't need to do that. I can do it myself. And absolutely you can. But you can only telling somebody. That's like when I tell people, you can tell somebody that you know the code. But how do you prove to somebody you know the code? We provide the outlet to prove that you have learned, studied, absorbed, and can apply the National Electrical Code. That's what this program is all about. So it adds some stature. It adds some backing to a claim that you're going to put in your resume. You're going to put on your bio. You're going to use it for your company promotion, probably. You're going to use that for elevating your status in your community. You're going to do press releases. You're going to put it on the side of your vehicle. You're going to put it on your business cards. You're going to promote yourself as a CMECP. And how you use it and how you promote it on your social media, how you do it, is all going to be something that elevates you higher than the next guy. Now, the next guy who goes, that's BS, man. I'm a master electrician. I've been doing it for 35 years. I know what I'm doing. This guy just paid for a credential. This shows you the ignorance, because that individual could go through the program and obtain the same certification. But the reason that they're not is because they're scared. They know they can't make it and they're going to be exposed. Trust me, there are a lot of people out there who claim to be code knowledgeable in their posts, in their message posts, in their social media. They are not. Do not be fooled by somebody that can hide behind a keyboard. So people say, well, Paul, is that you? No, you watched my videos. You've heard my podcast. You know that I don't do recording double takes. I don't edit. I don't modify. What you see is what you get. When I spout code, I spout code. Well, you want to be that person. And the CMECP program does that. Not somebody just posts something and says, well, that's a violation of the code, and they don't back it up. We teach all of our CMECP students or candidates to practice what we preach. If you're going to tell somebody that this is wrong, provide them with a code reference, educate them, teach them, mold them, mentor them, help them get past their ignorance. That's what this does. That's what CMECPs do. And that's who we want. And that's all we want. Now, other people will say, okay, I'm going to pay $400. Well, we show you how this can be what's called a net zero program. What does that mean? It is the world's only net zero certification program where you're given many ways to reduce the cost of your membership to zero. We have the portal that has the CMECP perks in it, the exclusive pay you back referral program, where if you refer other master electricians and they get into the program, that you get a referral fee, because you really want other master electricians to be at this level. It is the only way that we're going to take this industry and raise the bar. Raise the bar on the knowledge and stop seeing all this stuff on TikTok and Instagram and everywhere people post things that they're so proud of, but it is just riddled with code violations. Now, there's people out there that say, yeah, but there's a difference between people that can do and people that can talk. There's another ignorant statement, and it's usually being stated by people who are tool-toting fools who don't understand the importance of both sides of the equation. You have a left side of the brain and a right side of the brain. You have a mechanical function and you have a knowledge base. You have to learn the code. You have to learn how to apply it. Everything you do as an electrician has a code around it. Whether it's spacing of cables and securing and supporting, to how many conductors you can put in a raceway, to the height clearance, everything that you physically do has a code wrapped around it. You just don't think about it because you might have done it so often. But every single thing, from every termination to a torquing requirement all the way up to that final inspection, has some kind of code wrapped around it. Everybody in this profession should want to take this profession at its highest level, the highest level, and that is to be a CMECP. That is, to me, the highest level of assurance of quality in a proper code-compliant installation in this industry. There is nothing else, nothing, than a CMECP. So you've got that. So ultimately, it pays for itself. Okay? So again, it's so simple. Become a master electrician, take the course, pass the proctored exam, pass all the tests, pass the one-on-one interview at the end, and boom, you become a CMECP, and you get to reap all the benefits. You get to increase your earning potential, stand out of the crowd, elevate your professionalism, ongoing education. Again, we have that educational portal that's available if you choose to embark in it. Peace of mind to your consumer, kind of letting them know, I am a CMECP. If you want to find out more about this program, here's the website to go to. You see what level we're at. And I should mention that we also have a CMECP website launching in the next couple of months that is specifically the consumer side. So it allows you, the CMECP, to send your customers to this page, or this website to show what a CMECP actually is and what they have to go through in order to achieve this status. So it's something that you can market and utilize as well. Okay. It gives you prominent status over all other non-CMECP master electricians that are your competition in your community. Again, it allows you to stand out in the crowd when people are seeking employment candidates. Certification that we provide, you can provide to your actual potential employer or for raises in your company. Your access again to the CMEC perks saves you money. We have a CMECP Hertz program. You get the CMECP lapel pins that signifies your completion of the program. You get to use all of our seals, all of our logos. We'll customize logos if you want it. All that's done. Again, hundreds, if not thousands of free educational programs available to you through our partnership, online, through our portal. The list can go on. Marketing, putting this on your vehicles, putting this on your business cards, actively explaining why they need to hire a CMECP versus anybody else. So at the end of the day, you can have your critics, you can have your people that say things about it, but you cannot afford not to be a CMECP if you're trying to get one step ahead of your competition. If you want to let your customer know that you have gone through the additional voluntary training to raise your game to the next level. That's what the CMECP program is all about. If you're interested in becoming a CMECP, if you're interested in finding out more about the CMECP program, if you have questions that you want to ask about the CMECP program, do not hesitate to ask them. Visit our website, www.mycmecp.com, all one phrase, and you will see a contact button on there. Click that contact button. You can ask us any question you want. Visit the website. Feel free to ask anything that you want. Watch the little video that we have on there about being a CMECP. Click on the database. Ask any question to any of the CMECPs that are listed there. Feel free to ask them. If you want a personal reference from us, then I can give you references to people that are in the program now, as well as people that recently finished, and they will give you their unbiased opinion. I won't solicit it. I won't intermediate against it. I will simply give you their information, and you can ask them. So I am so confident in this program that I don't push it down people's throat. I don't spend a lot of money advertising it. People find their way to the CMECP program. We're not here to make it is simply a subset of our corporation. It is not something that we're out there running ads everywhere trying to promote. This is organic. These are master electricians who want to take their game to the next level, want to get additional knowledge, and knowledge is king, and they want to have something that is marketable, advertisable, confirmation, however you want to use it. That's what the CMECP program is all about. So give it a look. Visit us over on www.mycmecp.com for more information about our CMECP program, and I look forward to seeing you in class. Till next time, stay safe. God bless.